Well, I actually don't know who the winner is. I think I need to know the winner.
Petrarca's Goldwood, and he's done it. Running out of superlatives here tonight for the Melbourne Footy Club, and Petrarca, he's taking it to the next level.
Oh, it's Petrarca! Christian Petrarca!
Yes, it's Petrarca and it's the Demons. 6 set to start the season with the Dogs. They sit atop the ladder. They are the real deal. They're legit, and gentlemen, they're making Gary Lyon very, very happy. Welcome to you, Gazza,
yes.
Brownie and Rui.
A little head wobble today when we come into the studio a couple of hours earlier. We just noticed a bit of a head wobble coming through the door. Gary Lyon's up and about, and for good reason too. They've been magnificent, Melbourne. You know what I love about Melbourne, boys, is that they've been challenged every week, and they were challenged again on Saturday night against one of the great teams of all time. They held their nerve and then they blew them off the park.
I noticed the head wobble. I also noticed the run sheets changed. Collingwood was meant to be off the top, and Gary's pulled rank.
How many times I told you, don't go with humour till you run it past me, all right? Yeah, we're off to a flat start.
Well, I gave you a chance 2 weeks ago to take the lid off. Now, the data has said for a long time that they are in Premiership contention. Where's the lid at the present time?
No, Melbourne. Well, you know, you do. Some would let yourselves dream that far. I don't, Jared. I'm happy to dream to September now. Yep. I think they're in great shape to make it, but anything beyond that would be a bonus. But I love what's happening. All jokes aside, I'm thrilled for Melbourne supporters who've been through a hell of a lot of pain, and they're looking at a team that are playing in the right manner. And yeah, if they continue to stay in the way that they're playing, they're going to give it a shake.
It's actually amazing how they've improved. Round 1 winners against Freo, but not that impressive.
Scratchy.
May have lost against the Giants had they not lost some players, but gee, the last couple of weeks they are absolutely getting the job done.
Yeah, so we have a look at it, and you know, it's fallen to me. I'm very happy to do it, obviously. So try and simplify it. Like, I've watched them every game. For the 3 phases that Alan Jeans talks about is more relevant than ever. And so let's try and break it down. What they're doing with the footy, what they're doing when they haven't got it, and when it's in dispute. You know, these 3 phases.
But there's one layer that overrides all of that. So all those 3 phases look different for Melbourne, and we'll get into that. But we had Nathan Jones here last week, and he spoke about the adherence to role, the embracing of roles, and the selflessness in executing roles. So all of those 3 phases that you're talking about, they look completely different because of that attitude and mindset.
And I think,
what does it look like?
Yeah, well, it's about everything you do. I mean, whatever we do here, you can try and be the best analyst and make all your stuff be the best, or you can try and make the show great. And that's what they're doing, trying to make the show good. And let's start with ball in hand. And this was the problem. We showed the taco last year where they just kept going and not slowing down. And this inside 50 kick was the one that was killing them for 3 or 4 years. This is symptomatic of where they're at now. And in years gone past, they just blast away out of here. And had they done that on this occasion, Richmond has set up. Bolter's there, would have gone to Bolter. Now they go over Bolter, and then it's ball in dispute. Righto, let's get to work here. And, you know, they are selfless. They don't care who kicks it. Oliver never worried about it. They kick a goal. So that's ball in hand is so much better. Here you get a look at both of it. You'll see Langford on the left. You just watch his work. I watched behind the goals today. His work's unbelievable. Langdon, rather. What did I say? Langford. But this is the other really critical one. You see Grimes set down the road. Melbourne of 2019 and 2020 kicked this ball. Grimes intercepts. Spargo to the left looks like a dill. Not this year. They run out with hands. They get it to the inside. Now it's Grimes is hanging out, and it's Spargo who's on the end. And look at Langdon's run in the end to get involved right out at the end. So that's ball in hand. And when you haven't got the footy, what are you doing? We talk about it all the time. What are you doing when you haven't got the ball? And I love that. Your junior coaches talk about that. Senior people don't talk about it enough. Lever behind the footy's been magnificent. May's been magnificent. This is without ball in hand. It's your positioning.
I think that complements too, Gaz, that stuff you've shown already. That complements their defence, or when they don't have the footy done, they look more organised behind the football now because of the way they do move with a bit more composure.
Revelation. It really is. And if anyone got to watch a behind the goals game, you should do it if you ever get the chance, because it just gives you just a greater perspective. Watch Lever. Lever, he doesn't mind. He's playing 10 metres off. He doesn't care if the Richmond player gets the footy off.
That's Grimes.
Well, it is. He's adapted the Grimes. He's going, if you get up there, no worries. Read the ball, pressure on, come forward, intercept. I mean, that's when you haven't got the ball in your hand. What are you doing there? And this one's a centre bounce. So you got to watch the back. They're your two wingers from Melbourne, just protecting the backside. It just looks good. It's a much.
And that's why people don't appreciate the wing position. It used to be a high possession position. Now it's a high kilometres, no reward position. You could go some games sacrificing yourself with 8, 10, 12 possessions, but you've done a good job, and that's what the coaches will judge it on.
And the Melbourne's games, Champion Data tell us, are the highest pressure games of any games this year. And that's because when the ball's in dispute, they're at it. They've got balance around the ball. We saw that a little bit.
That balance is the big one, isn't it?
It is.
But I suppose what does that mean though? In the past, Melbourne have just been like bees to a honeypot.
Yeah, 100% they have. But sometimes it's this infectious nature of what's going on here. This is when the ball's in dispute. This is the third phase, and they've just been so good at this. Their contested numbers have always been really strong. They've got protection. We showed you the protection they got behind the footy. So if they do get to the outside, and everyone's doing it. Gawn, Petrarca, Oliver, Spargo, Pickett, Jackson.
It's hard to capture what they've captured, but they're riding the wave now of momentum where the positive affirmation that comes with blokes playing roles and you get the results, that fuels the next week and fuels the desire to keep executing it. So it's a hard thing to capture, but once you get on that wave, I mean, this is all-time sort of stuff we're talking about.
So this all adds up to this. Why have they got the best ever? Why are they the hardest team to score against once the opposition go inside 50? It's for all the reasons there. It's not about me. It's not about, it's protecting the back half. If I'm not involved, what am I doing in the structure? And I say to Simon Goodwin, who gets kicked in the head when they go good, I say, what a magnificent effort. Along with others, clearly, but it's just a superb testament to him that they've got this back on track, albeit 6 games.
But it's been a couple of years in the building, hasn't it? And it started evidently really to turn around in the camp up in Queensland or in the hub.
And they invested really heavily in that defensive part of the ground as well. So we know the investments they made in Lever and May, and they're getting reward for that now. And Tomlinson's another one, Brownie.
Tomlinson's been a great pickup, I think, because now Lever is able to play his preferred role, where he can be that intercept marker with May and Tomlinson being.
They brought him in for a wing, but they found a spot for him without Oscar.
Recruited as a wingman didn't work,
That's
but you're right.
But he has played key defence before, Rui. He's played on you in the past, hasn't he? What's his strength as a defender?
Lockdown.
Yeah.
Just
works all day.
Concentrate on taking away an opposition key forward.
And run with revolt.
Great athlete.
So chemistry is such a great thing, and they've got Tom McDonald being the number one chemist at the moment.
I think in the overall scheme of it, I think Langdon's been unbelievable. Petrarca and Oliver will do what they do and Gawn, because they did it last year and they couldn't make finals. This bloke has had the biggest impact, I think, Tom McDonald, of anyone. And that's not saying he's the best player, clearly, but as I said to you, Petrarca had an All-Australian bet, nearly a Brownlow year, Gawn did, but they wasn't enough. They needed these other blokes, and this guy's got back to the form of 2018.
But he's even different to that, Gaz. In 2018, my memory of him is as a leading forward, a centre-forward game. Now he's a stay-at-home, he's a target. It's very Hawthorne-esque when they were winning premierships. He's marking it up there, and he's got that support on the deck.
So what does that mean for Ben Brown?
It's a great question, and I don't know the answer. Just it means that he's got to keep playing well. Kick 4 on the weekend.
Is he the sort of player, though, under this system, where they're taking on the dangerous space, they're bringing the ground level players in, is he the sort of forward that suits the way Melbourne are playing?
I think he could be. I do. But it's round 6.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee you in 16 weeks' time, it'll be a different looking side to what we're seeing.
I think Wiedemann would be ahead of him at the moment, probably just purely on time. He's played a little bit more footy in the resis, but Ben Brown will be a couple of weeks away. And if he keeps knocking down the door by kicking goals, eventually they're going to have to play him, aren't they?